morning, good afternoon, good evening, those of you on TikTok and YouTube platforms. We thank God for you, and you. And also, we're on Spotify and other major podcast platforms. And we thank God for Numbers chapter 27. But first, let us pray. Oh, most holy, I am that I am, even the one that Genesis talks that moved upon the water and created all things and spoke, and it is. Yes, we thank you. You've divided the lands. You've given the lands to different peoples, and you've caused different peoples to inherit different parts of the earth. But yet there are those of the nations that are greedy. Oh, most holy Sanini Nainini, we know they're greedy. We know your wrath toward those who have walked contrary to your word, but we know that those things are gone. And then we know of the generations of organizations and those that of kingdoms that have overstepped their bounds, and then you had to step in and cause them to be no more. Yes, most holy Sanini Nainini, we see the people that are on the continent, even of Africa, what is called Africa. We see them on the continent. They're getting free, claiming the land that they inherited by you. You have given them a certain portion of this earth, and those who are on a certain portion want to take it away and want to keep them under their feet. But we ask you to deliver them into your hands, even give those countries and those peoples, yes, wisdom on how to deal with their enemies, those who want what they have and to get it for free. Yes, we know these things are caused by the governments. Yes, and they cause other people to go against this people and that people. And yet they lie on major medias. But yet, most holy Sanini Nainini, we thank you that these people will turn unto you. Some have gotten rid of some of the sin they have been committing, some of the ways they have been doing. So we ask you to bless these people. Yes, in your name. And we thank you and praise you for the victory. Yes. We're in Numbers chapter 27, the 27th chapter of Numbers. And it reads in verse 1, Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. These are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tazra. Now, and they stood before Moses, before Eleazar and the priests, and before the princes of all the congregation by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father did in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the I am in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin, and had no sons. Yes, there is something that we must always keep sin under. We must always keep peace with the Most High. That's where there's the peace offering. There's just getting on your knees and asking God to forgive you. There is the one that the offering of something I didn't do, something I didn't say. Even as Job has went before the Most High and offered it. There was no offering back then in the time of Job, but he offered anyway. He offered just to keep peace with God so that God would not strike him. But yet, God loved him. God saw a man upright and perfect. None such as his servant Job. And why, in verse 4, and why should the name of our father be done away from amongst his family, because he hath no son? Give unto us, therefore, a possession among the brethren of our father. In other words, they're saying, hey, we have no husbands. We're not married to nobody, but we want our father's name to be going. Now, that's notable for women, to want your father's name. Now, you could say mother and all this. Now, this came with Christianity, the advent of women, the advent of mothers. In other words, when the father was the one who was created first, and then there was the mother that were created after the image of the father, and he told them both to get together and multiply. He didn't say you created anything. He said multiply, conceive, just bear after your own kind. Yes, that's what God said, just as he said to the animals. Now, we got that. See, Satan is coming in trying to put a monkey wrench in the whole thing. And many of us don't see it for our own greed and our own pride. Yes, and our own vindictiveness. And therefore, and Moses brought their cause before the I am. The God is fair. The I am is fair. And Moses spake, and the I am spake unto Moses, says, the daughter of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession in the inheritance among their father, brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man die and have no son, then shall he cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father's brethren have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel statute of judgment, as the I am commanded Moses. Yes, fairness. You understand that the laws, even eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Yes, that is fair. But our laws are not fair. The laws in the country you may live in are not fair. They're either biased because of your color of your skin, your ethnicity, or something. They're not fair. But God says there's one law to the stranger and to the homeborn. Yes, there is one law. God has that way. Because that way God is holy. Holy doesn't mean that you are wear a certain robe or a certain suit or a tie or talk a certain way. It doesn't matter. You can sit up there and talk and say, you know what I'm saying. You know, it is cool, gnarly, man, or whatever you want to say. It's okay. If you're walking right and obeying the commandments, statutes, and judgments of the Most High at all, you're going to be fair. Yes, it doesn't matter. You can be who you are in the Most High because his laws are not grievous. Yes. Oh, our God reigns, our God reigns, our God reigns. We serve an awesome God. Yes. And the I am said unto Moses, we're in verse 12, get thee up into this Mount Abram, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. And ye rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, in strife of the most of the congregation, to sanctify me at the waters before their eyes. That is the water of Meribah in Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. Moses was, they put a lot of pressure on Moses, but Moses still should have held his composure, because to whom much is given, much is required. You require those who are in political office to even carry themselves in a most moral way. You require those that are of enforcement, whether it be law or judicial or whatever, to carry themselves in a most moral way. But yet they get away with the most hideous and immoral things in the land, and do not set the example for the people because of their positions. Yes, now Moses, much was given and much was required. He was asked to speak. He was told to speak to the rock. But in his anger toward the children of Israel, he struck the rock. Now, which was disobedient. And Moses spake unto the I am, saying, let the I am, the God of spirits, the God of spirits. Now, we're going to see that in the book of Enoch. When we get into the book of Enoch after Deuteronomy, which means remember, we will see that. The God of spirits. He says the Father of spirits in the book of Enoch, of all flesh, set a man over the congregation. Now, 17, which may go out before them, which may go in before them, which may lead them out, which may bring them in, and that the congregation of the I am be not as sheep which have no shepherd. And the I am said unto Moses, take thee Oshi, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the spirit, and lay thy hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of the Urim before the I am. And his word shall they go out, and his word shall they come in. Both he and all the children of Israel with him. even all the congregation. And Moses did as I am commanded him, and he took Oshé, his name is not Joshua, thank you, and set him before Eleazar, the priest, and before all the congregation. And he laid his hands upon him and gave him a charge, as the I am commanded by the hand of Moses. Yes, now this is the end of Moses at this point. Moses had led the people up to the brink of the borders of the land of Canaan. Now, Joshua was a warrior. Joshua was the one. Now, you talk about these coups and all these other things where you can't have the politician in the place where a warrior is needed. A warrior is needed when the people are oppressed. A judge, somebody that will fight. When the people are oppressed, there is a warrior needed. Yes, Moses was a warrior, but Moses mostly was a politician, and Moses was a leader. Now that would happen, that will occur when the people have established themselves in their lands. The same thing is going on now. You have coups that happen because you have the evil that have taken over countries, that have caused people to howl, that have taken the things and made themselves rich, even the leaders that are gone corrupt. But then there's God raised up a military leader that says, hey, my people will not take anymore. No. And yet you have the lies going toward that leader, but yet this leader is taught to fight. Now, those of you who are leaders, Burkina Faso, all the leaders, all the Niger, the military leaders that have taken over because of the voice of the people. Yes. Now, how can you come? The law is the voice of the people. Yes, even the law of the Most High. It says the people said in Exodus 19, all that the I am said, that will we do. The voice of the people the I am heard. The voice of the people who was whom they agree with. Now the voice of people said, we're tired. We're tired of you taking our resources. We're tired of you taking everything that we have. And then God raised up a military leader in order that the people might take back what they have. Now, the land of Canaan belonged unto Shem. That land was occupied by those of Ham, according to the narrative. And they began to take this thing, and then all of a sudden, God raises up Abram, a man who abhors idols and who believes in the one true God. Now, what does Abram do? Abram goes back and he says, God says, I'm going to give you a land. But the land was already Abram's. The land was already Abram's father. Yes. And now Abram's offspring, even Jacob, even Jacob, now they go to take this land back. The same thing with those of you in the continent. God raised up your leaders to take that land back by any means necessary. Yes, I said any means necessary. And with that, I'm going to say, peace.